Hello, welcome to my channel, Crafty Fox DIYs. This video is part of the 12 Days of Christmas, and today's theme is s'mores. The hosts of the 12 Days of Christmas are Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY and Jackie from Crafting and Mimi's World. I will have links to their channels as well as a link to the playlist so that you can get all kinds of s'mores DIY inspiration down in the description box below. Okay, let's get into it. For this first DIY, I am using some popsicle sticks to make a s'more. I have 6 popsicle sticks in total. 4 will be the marshmallow part, and then 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom will be the graham cracker. So I'm just using a piece of a popsicle stick so they keep my line straight to mark the 4 in the middle that I'm going to make my marshmallow from. And then I'm just going to make a mark just a little bit larger than the length of the marshmallow ones for the graham crackers. And then I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut off the excess popsicle sticks. Once I get all of those cut, then I'm going to paint them. I'm going to make sure I keep them separated. The graham cracker ones on this side and then my 4 marshmallow ones, and I'm just going to paint those with white acrylic paint. And then for my graham crackers, I didn't have a color that I liked for the color, the graham cracker color, so I mixed up my own paint. And now I've cut a piece of like the packing paper, and I'm just, I cut it about the same length as the marshmallow popsicle stick. And this is going to be the chocolate. And now I'm just cutting a wave pattern into it, and I'm going to paint it. And the chocolate color that I'm going to use is Truffle by Waverly Chalk Paints. Then once everything's all painted and dry, then I'm going to hold them together by using some popsicle sticks that I've already cut down to the length that I need, and I'm going to put hot glue on the back of the marshmallow ones and then press the popsicle stick pieces into the hot glue. Now I'm going to glue my chocolate on top of the first marshmallow popsicle stick. I'm going to leave some of it hanging over so that way whenever I put my graham cracker popsicle sticks on, it will be in underneath of it. It just looks better that way, like, you know, it's actually in between the marshmallow and the graham cracker. So I just took my finger there and pressed it down so it would curve around the popsicle stick. And now I'm going to glue on my graham cracker popsicle sticks. I have a little piece sticking up there, you can see it, but I cut that off. I don't show it on camera, but it's real easy to do, just the same as whenever I cut them in the first place. Now I'm going to just use some permanent markers to draw my face on my s'more. Now you don't have to draw a face on there, but I decided to do this. I thought it, would make it look kind of cute. So I just used black for the eyes and the mouth, and then I used pink for some cheeks, and I'm going to give it a red nose. You can use whatever colors that you want to. You could, use vinyl, whatever you want to do for your face. But I just chose to do mine using these permanent markers. Now I'm just using some baker's twine. I'm going to make the hanger. I'm just going to take a length of it and then tie a knot in the end. And then I'm going to turn my little s'more guy over and hot glue that right to the back. Now I'm going to put some Mod Podge over my face. I had some little hot glue strings on there I needed to remove first. And then I'm just going to put the Mod Podge on there, and then I'm going to sprinkle on some iridescent white glitter, and then I'm going to take a dry brush and go over and get the excess glitter off. Okay, now for the second DIY, I am using this foam here. This is my marshmallows, and I'm just going to show you this real quick. I just cut these into little squares like this, and then I put Mod Podge around where I cut it, so that way the styrofoam doesn't keep flaking off. And now I have 3 pieces there because I'm going to be making it. Well, there's a total of 4 of them, but I'm going to do 3 on camera. So now I'm cutting my graham crackers out of some cardboard. And I just used my little marshmallow piece to gauge the size of my graham crackers. So I'm just going to cut all of those pieces right out of the cardboard. Super easy. And now I'm using my graham cracker color to paint the back side of my pieces of cardboard. I'm going to paint all of those the same color, doing the back side and the sides of the cardboard. Now I have this foam tray. I'm going to be using this for my chocolate, and so I'm cutting out 3 pieces from it. And once again, I'm using one of my marshmallows to gauge the size of my chocolate. And then I'm going to paint the back side and the sides of each of my styrofoam pieces using Truffle by Waverly Chalk Paints. Just do all 3 of those. And now I'm painting the front side of my graham cracker cardboard graham crackers. So I'm going to get all of those painted up and then turn my chocolate pieces over and paint the other side of those as well. Now everything's all painted up and it's time to assemble, so I just take my styrofoam marshmallow, put it on the cardboard graham cracker, put the chocolate on top and then the other, and I just do this for all 3 of these, hot gluing those together. And now this one here is one that I had already made. It was my little test subject, and I'm just adding a hanger to it and then some decoration, and I'm going to do that with another one here. First I needed to add the holes in the top of the graham crackers. Completely forgot about it. I'm just using a cap to a pin to do that. And I'm using baker's twine, once again, done it the same way I did for the the popsicle ornament s'more, and put that on top, and then I'm just putting some little bit of greenery on there, and then I'm also going to add a little red berry, just give it a little decoration like that. So those can be ornaments, and then those can just be sitters. And I have this little metal lunchbox with a little Christmas picture on it, and I'm going to stuff some tissue paper in there, put my little s'mores in there, and then I decided to add my decorated ones in there as well for a cute little display. I think that's so cute. Okay, now for this third DIY, I am making a s'more garland or banner, and it's basically going to be the same way of the s'mores that we just made. So I have larger pieces of styrofoam, and so then I'm going to need larger pieces of graham cracker, and I have 4 of each. And yes, I know my graham crackers don't look like graham crackers. I haven't seen a graham cracker in so long, I forgot what they look like. And I just thought I recalled enough from memory that they look good, but someone pointed out to me that graham crackers actually, look a little different than how mine looks. But you get the idea, and I will probably go back and remake mine so that they will look more graham crackerish. I think they're supposed to have more holes in them or something. Anyway, I'm doing the same thing. Oh, for my chocolate pieces here, you can see as I'm painting it, the lines on there, and I want it to look like a chocolate bar, so I just use hot glue on the styrofoam. And now I'm just using a pair of scissors to poke a hole and then rounding it out with a paintbrush to poke jute twine through so that I can hang my pieces for my s'mores. So like I said, I have 4 of each. I have 4 graham crackers, 4 chocolate pieces, and then 4 marshmallows. I'm going to get the jute twine threaded through each of my pieces. Now I'm on to the marshmallow pieces. Just thread that through there. It helps to use the paintbrush to poke it through the hole. And now I have this red and white striped fabric. I got this from Dollar Tree a couple years ago. And this is all I had left of it, and luckily it was just enough. I have 1 strip left over that I didn't need for this. So I just cut it into equal pieces, strips, and then I attempted to show me putting it together, and it did not turn out at all. I did not have my camera set up right, but it's okay. You kind of get the gist here, and this isn't where it's going to be hanging in my house anyway. But I just tied each of the pieces on, and you'll see it in the end how I did it, and then I went in between with my red and white striped fabric. Okay, let's take one final look at all of these projects. Okay, that's all for this video. Let me know what you think of these cute little s'mores DIYs. Be sure to check the description box for the host's channel's links, as well as a link to the playlist, so that you can get all kinds of s'more DIY inspiration. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.